Let's be honest. Social media has a strong influence on the decisions that we make, whether they're personal ones or in our business. So if you created your current business model based on external circumstances, people, or even what you see on social media, then your business may not be set up to achieve the success you want. And today we're going to talk about how you can change that. Welcome to the More Than Capable Mompreneur podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Baker, a coffee-loving mom and perfectionist in recovery that started as a virtual assistant and turned into a total systems geek. My goal is to help you, the busy woman with a tight schedule and an aversion to technology, create systems in your business so that it runs as efficiently as possible, which boosts your productivity. Then you'll have the brain space and the time you need to invest in yourself, grow your business, and create success on your own terms without the burnout. So grab your cup of coffee, some sparkling water, or pour a glass of your favorite wine, and let's dive into today's topic. Well, I want to welcome you to episode number 101 of the podcast. If you're new to the podcast, I want to extend a warm welcome to you. Thank you for tuning in. There are 100 episodes ahead of this one, and I encourage you to go back at your leisure and listen to them. I'm your host, Shannon Baker, a business strategist, perfectionist in recovery, and total systems geek. I want you to think of me as the helping hand that you need to shorten the learning curve when it comes to creating systems in your business and using tech so that you can be more productive. Now, my goal with every episode of this podcast is to respect your time, so I try to keep the episode length to 30 minutes or less. I appreciate that you let me into your ears, whether you're tuning in while you drive, walk the dog, do the laundry, whatever it is that you're doing. And whether it's a solo episode or a guest episode, I'm going to cut to the chase and share tips with no fluff and practical strategies. That way you can easily implement them in what I call the mom cracks of time, so you can grow your business to support the lifestyle you desire without leaving you feeling overwhelmed or frustrated. So today I want to talk about the way that you're actually running your business. The reality is your business is probably running you, and we definitely need to change that. We need to reclaim your time by looking at your business model and adjusting it if necessary so that your business supports your life the way you want it to. Here's the thing about running a business and making money. There is more than one way to do it. And besides that, you have a different definition of success than I do. That being said, there's no magic business model that can guarantee us success. But the problem is we sometimes get duped into thinking that investing in a mastermind or coaching, whether it's one-on-one coaching or group coaching, that's going to be the magic pill to our success. I've made this mistake myself, and if your business is generating some income, I'm pretty sure you have too. They told us that if we did these specific things that work for them, that we can achieve success that we've only dreamed of. And sometimes it worked, but other times it didn't, no matter how many different ways you tried. The truth is, if it doesn't align with your values, if it doesn't light you up, it's not going to work for you. Now, I'm not saying that everything is going to be fun, but I will say that you might be following someone else's plan right now, but it isn't really serving you or your business. That's why you're not getting the results you want from it. It might just be that the plan you're following has led you to create a model that's just way too restrictive for you, or it doesn't have the type of structure that you need. So you probably need to make a few tweaks and even create a hybrid model that works for you. The same approach is needed for the things you do in your personal life. An all or nothing approach usually doesn't work no matter what it is that we're trying to do. Here's a real life example. One of the most common resolutions people make every year is to lose weight. So you may sign up for an online program that teaches you how to eat the right food and, how to put the right portions on your plate at every meal. That program will also outline the workouts that you need to complete to reach your weight loss goal. But what if it only gave you one exercise to do every day, like 50 burpees, which, by the way, I hate burpees, and that's it? There's no variety. There are no modifications that take into account the fact that you're trying to get in shape, and maybe you can't even do 5 burpees, let alone doing 50. You also don't have the option of going for a walk, riding a bike, or using an elliptical machine. How long do you think you're going to stick to that program? Well, not long, right? Or what happens is if you've signed up for a certain amount of time, you may tough it out until your subscription expires, but that's only if you can't cancel it without it costing you a lot of money. Well, unfortunately, that's what some of these online programs are like when it comes to creating your business model. They lock you in, and they stifle your creativity. You're not a robot. And let's be honest, as creatives, we're always coming up with new ideas and thinking of new offers. So having a business model that locks you in and doesn't allow for you to make changes, which is inevitable, you're just never going to be happy with the way things are going in your business. And please, do not let anyone convince you that once you start something, you have to stick with it, even if it isn't working. Now, I talk about being focused on getting things completed all the time. Otherwise, you end up with a bunch of incomplete tasks and you get nowhere. But if you have given a product or a service a good amount of time, like at least 6 months to a year, and it's not working, then you need to evaluate your goals and your efforts and see what needs to be changed to improve your results. And since this is your business and you see what needs to change, then go for it. It's okay to experiment with different things because sometimes something may work out better than we anticipated just by making some minor changes. And if it doesn't, at least you try and you can still learn from that experience. The key is understanding what lights you up and understanding that you can change your mind along the way. I've been running this business for almost 10 years, and let me tell you, my business model has shifted over the years, and I'm pretty sure it will probably shift again in the future. This happens because nothing in life is constant but change. The shift in my business model has happened because my business over time didn't support the season that my life was in. When I started this business, I was a virtual assistant and my business model was direct support for my clients. And did I mention that I was working a full-time job and I had a 10-year-old daughter in school? So eventually my business grew and it ended up taking more time away from my family than I anticipated. I was always working, even on the weekends and on vacation. I was chasing money and trading time for dollars. My business had literally taken over our lives. I wasn't happy with my clients. I wasn't happy with the work I was doing. Home life was a wreck because I was always working. So needless to say, my husband and my daughter were not happy with my business either. So I took a step back to reevaluate my priorities and decide what I needed to do to get my life back in balance. That required me to change my business model. So I switched to a retainer model while still providing direct support, and that did help. And I limited my workload to only 2 clients. At that time, I also invested in private coaching with one of my mentors, which helped me to identify my mission, vision, and purpose. That was 6 years later in October 2018. Now, after continuing to work with this coach, I decided to take a major step in February 2019. I burned the boat and I ended every contract that I had and went back to work part-time to reduce the financial pressure that we were starting to feel. Then in 2020, I launched this podcast as the next phase of my entrepreneurial journey, and I decided to just focus on being consistent with this one thing. Once I got the hang of it, I incorporated more calls to action in my episodes to drive traffic to my existing digital freebies and a few low-cost digital products. People could grab what they wanted from my online resource vault, complete the mini courses, which were self-paced. I also have a free Facebook group, which was the community component for anyone who had questions or just wanted to be part of something online with like-minded women. And by the way, I'm going to put a link in the show notes to that group if you'd like to join. So that was my business model for about a year. And then I incorporated one-on-one coaching. And let me tell you, I love the coaching aspect of my business. But it didn't take long for me to learn that more energy is required when working that way. I was all in. I enjoyed the calls I had with my clients, but I found that after a call, I would look over my notes, do the follow-up tasks and the emails with the actions they needed to take. Now, mind you, I'm still working part-time, navigating the waters. At this point, our daughter had started homeschooling, and my podcast was still new. So at the end of the day, I was exhausted again. Now, I considered switching to an online course model, but after doing some market research, I realized that wasn't going to work for me. One, I don't have the space in my brain or in my life to create it. And two, my ideal client doesn't even have the time to sit down and finish the course. I mean, I'm my own type of client, and I have not completed any courses that I have purchased up to 100%. I think the largest amount or the number may be like 70 or 75%. And there's a lot of people that say that you can't scale unless you have an online course. I don't think that's true. And my mission is to prove them wrong. If we've been connected for a while, then you already know I'm a rebel. And if you're new to a podcast, then now you know you will hear that in my episodes. But since all of you are part of my inner circle, I want to let you know what I'm working on behind the scenes now, because it aligns with the next shift in my business model, which is another hybrid model. So I'm going to create a new online resource center with on-demand content that you can absorb to help you learn how to use the tech tools. This is going to save you time because you won't have to spend time searching for how-to videos on YouTube or Pinterest or using Google to find the answers. They're going to be short, mini how-to videos organized by tool. So you get to choose what you want to learn about. And if you run into any hiccups along the way, there's going to be a community piece where you can ask me questions and get assistance as well. So if you want updates on this, make sure you follow me on Instagram at @the_Shannon Baker, because I will be sharing in stories as this develops, or again, you can join the More Than Capable Mompreneur Facebook group. Now, let me tell you, I am still going to offer coaching, and I probably always will. But now I limit the number of clients that I work with directly on a one-on-one basis, at least on a consistent basis. That works for me, and I'm not going to change that. So now let's talk about how you can reevaluate your business model. We'll start by looking at what you do and how you do it. Look over your week. Do you work one-on-one with your clients, or do you work with a group? How much time does that take? Does it require you to be working when you want to be spending time with your family and friends? Once you've done that, then sit down and think about how you can change that. Now, if you look over your schedule and you say, well, Shannon, I'm busy. Okay, I already know that. But busy isn't always a good thing. For example, if you take calls from clients or for networking multiple days during the week, you can adjust your boundaries around your calls. Reduce that to only taking calls 2 to 3 days a week, and maybe even limit that to a portion of the day, not the entire day. That way you can designate certain days for certain types of calls, and that puts you in the zone mentally, saves your energy, and you can pour all into that one zone that day. The key to assessing your business model is to figure out the lifestyle that you want to live. What kind of things do you want to do? What kind of things do you want to invest in that will bring you joy and happiness? Whatever you pick, you're going to encounter challenges and a range of different emotions. And don't forget that no matter what you choose, you're never going to find something in your life or your business that is exactly what you wanted. And there's never going to be a business model that doesn't come with some difficult situations that you have to deal with. Every chapter of your life, every leg of this journey as an entrepreneur comes with different levels of commitments, which requires different boundaries. Now, it's going to require a different way of doing things because your energy levels will vary. Your responsibilities are going to change. What your time looks like is going to change. How you can work and how you can get things done is going to change. At one point, you may only have 20 minutes every day. At other times, you may only have 3. You have to take all those things into consideration. So look at your current set of circumstances and make the changes that you need, because once you accept the reality that you're in right now in this moment, you can adapt to it and implement new habits and new strategies that benefit you and your business. Give yourself permission to start from where you are. And when you're thinking about what your model could look like, don't think about what everyone else is doing. When creating a lifestyle business, it can be easy to lose sight of true success. But again, success is different for every one of us. So you need to define your own success and focus on that no matter what everyone else seems to be achieving around you or doing. Take it from me, I know it's easier said than done, but it can be done. Now, if you want to know how, be sure and go back and listen to episode number 81 because I shared a process that I go through to identify my success and what I do to keep it front of mind so I don't get distracted. Another thing, I don't even think about what I used to be able to do. You need to do the same thing. Make your decisions based on where you are now in this moment. The great thing is you can do this evaluation every quarter or once a year or as often as you want. That way you can really adjust on the fly. If you can make small changes or if you need to make major changes, you can plan for that. And as you start to make changes, if someone tells you that you can't or you shouldn't, ignore them. You don't need their permission to pause or to make the changes. Just like anything you're doing in life, what's the point if you can't enjoy the process along the way? There are so many limitless ways that you can make money in your business and help people to achieve the success that they want by harnessing or taking advantage of your skills and expertise. But it can also be overwhelming and liberating because you're going to suddenly realize that it's not about finding the perfect business model or creating a perfect lifestyle. It's really about experimenting and finding what works for you right now. Finding what feels good, what motivates you, and what gets you the new lead that turns into a sale. And if a certain business model isn't helping you do those things, or a certain lifestyle isn't helping you to achieve the success that you want, then you need to give yourself permission to, again, start from where you are. Do it your way. Be flexible and have fun with it. Experimenting in your business is going to help you and your business thrive. And then you can achieve success on your own terms. So I hope that this episode was helpful for you. If you've been shaking your head yes, or you had an aha moment, I want to hear about it. So take a screenshot, post it in Instagram stories, and tag me at _Shannon Baker. You've got this. I know you can do this. And until next time, keep calm and streamline.